Hello, you are watching Indian Masterminds, and I am Junali Buragamai, sitting with E.T. Pandey, DRM of Southern Division in Central Railways. Right now, we are sitting at the Mumbai Cricket Club in Churchgate, and today we are going to discuss about her running journey. ETG, as you all know, is an avid runner who has completed the grueling Comrades Run in South Africa. So we'll let her do all the talking. She'll explain to us what this run is all about, how difficult it was, and how she managed to complete it. So, Iti ma'am, tell us about your Comrades journey.
So actually, we started off with our running journey. When I say we, I mean my husband and I. We started off in 2005 with the coming of the Tata Mumbai Marathon. I was an athlete in school also, but ever since I joined the services, I had given up on my sports activities. But Mumbai is a very favorable area for picking up running. Although my railway hours made me do it all alone, so I have been running all alone. I haven't joined any group, but my husband's been a part of a group. So I would say that I became a serious runner post 2010, and I could do about 2 to 3 marathons in a year.
42 full marathon.
No, these were half
Half
marathons.
marathons.
I-
21 kilometers.
Yes, so I have done about 75 half marathons, and I have done 6 full marathons, and I have done 4 ultra marathons, which is like more than 42 kilometers. So I did the Adani ultra marathon in 2017, where I did 78 kilometers. Then, and every 15th August, we used to have a 12-hour run in Mumbai. The first year I clocked 68 kilometers. The second year I clocked 76 kilometers. And then I did a run from the Sports Association of Central Railway. I ran from VT to Thane, which was the first actually train run for India, which was a train run in 1853. The first train ran between Bori Bandar, which is now VT, to Thane.
Thane.
And so I replicated that run on the 17th of April when the run happens. I did this in the month of
How
July.
many kilometers was it?
So it turned out to be 38 kilometers, so a little less than a full marathon, but it was a challenging run. If you look at all the flyovers, you will understand what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
And Mumbai heat and humidity can
Yeah.
well imagine.
Then I did a run from Karja to a hill station in Mumbai, which is where no vehicular traffic is allowed. There also the Central Railway toy train is there at that station. So it's a very steep rise, and it's all green. And I did that in the
So
rainy
this
season.
was a group run, or you went?
Yes. It was a Central Railway group run in which I was there, and the other were all sports persons.
So railways keep organizing this kind of runs, you know to say?
The sports association initiates you, but you have to do the run.
Of course.
So I ran from Kanjan to Mathrid, and that was a 50-kilometer run which I did.
So how long did it take for you to graduate to 50 kilometers? I'm sure you started off with 5 kilometers.
Yeah.
Like all runners usually do.
Yes.
They run 5, then they graduate to 10,
Yeah.
and then 21, 42. So how long did it take for you to become ultra runner?
So surprisingly, in my first year of run only, I did my 21 kilometers. I started off with 21 kilometers. But then for almost 10 years, I did half marathons, and I did one ultra only. And that too, the 12-hour run which I did in Mumbai, in which you could take breaks and
Yes.
then run again. So it was not a continuous run.
Continuous.
So it's taken me 11 years to graduate to an ultra runner. And I feel very proud of myself because I could do with all my work and my
Exactly,
office
I
and
wanted
everything.
to come to that. So, how do you when we last spoke, you told us, how difficult this job is for a woman. Like, she has to be 24 hours literally on call. Plus, you have a family to manage, 2 kids, and your husband is also in the service. So how do you manage and to find this time to run? I mean, to train.
So time management is essential. I have to multitask, and sleeping hours are less, and working hours are more. But I like the challenge. I get up very early in the morning.
What time?
So I get up around 4 o'clock in the morning because I have to get ready, and first I take my morning positions, which are very important. Then
Okay.
I then I give orders for the course of the day, how the how the goods train will be
So at
handled.
4 o'clock in the morning, you do this.
No, 4 o'clock I get up and I kind of meditate and then start my work. So I take my morning position at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then from 5 to 5:30 we plan, how trains are going to be taken, because passenger trains are in a timetable. They run according to a timetable. You don't have to do much. Their path is already given.
So
the
this
challenge
job is definitely not for late risers, mind you.
And so then after that we have to plan the goods movement. And I have 7 interchange points, means 7 places where I am giving a train to another division or taking a train from them, both in terms of goods and passengers. So passenger, I just like I told you, is managed. Goods is a challenge. We plan that. Besides that, the government is focusing a lot on infrastructural work. So on my division, I have done several infrastructural works in the last 8 months, especially works focused at improving the mobility of the division. So I have done loop line extension works, and these are called traffic facility works. Done a lot of work of running machines to improve my track parameters, so that trams run better. The government has taken the initiative also of raising the speed of trains, which we have been able to do now over our division in almost all the sections. This requires even more track management and track renewal works, which we have focused on. So for every work, a block is required where trains need to be regulated, and you have to finish your work in that time frame. So every day that block management activity is also done. So today we'll take up this work, that work, like that.
Okay.
And then after my 1.5 hour morning conference,
So we come back to the running track
so
now.
then we come to the running track.
Right.
So
And how
I
she
start.
improved her running pace.
So I start my running at 6:30 in the morning, and most of the days it's a 10 kilometer or a 12 kilometer run. And I manage my long runs in the weekend because that's the only time that I get.
On Sundays?
And on Sundays,
So
and
how-
sometimes
how
on
much do
Saturdays.
you- How long do you? I mean, how many
On
kilometers?
so on a Saturday, like suppose I run for about 1.5 hours, but on a Sunday when I was doing, now though my work has increased so much, it's not possible. But otherwise 3 hours on a Sunday.
3 hours.
3 hours. That's the way we train. Doesn't matter how many kilometers we do in those 3
Focus
hours.
on hours.
But we focus on continuous 3 hours of run, and that I have been doing for a number of years now. And
So do you take any water breaks in between?
So we carry
You
our
carry
own
your
water.
hydration.
We carry our own water.
So do you use gel or you use water or Energol or what?
So before we start a run, we normally hydrate ourselves very well. I think part of running is the way you hydrate. Hydration is very important. I, touch wood, have never had cramps while I'm running, and it's because I take care of my hydration. I drink a lot of water. That's
Plain
very
water
important.
or you mix something? Energol.
No, it's a mix. Like you carry plain water plus Energol. It's both ways. So first, when you're going in for a long run, you should have at least 3 to 4 liters of water in your body, and at least 1 liter of Energol. That is how you have a good run. Then you are energetic and ready to go. You must have a banana in the morning, like I do. I'm a vegetarian. I don't even eat eggs. So banana is very important for me. Like people take egg whites and all, proteins and all. But before a run, carbohydrate is important. So I
So you load
eat
up on carbs.
carbs. So like a banana, some dates. That's what I do. Not too much because you can't bulk up for running.
What do you eat on the day before the run?
Normal, I really enjoy kitchen day before the run, and that's what I normally eat. Sometimes I have pasta also. Sometimes just plain rice with little bit of dal. That's also good. So we have that.
I think most runners they prefer pasta or rice. You
Yeah,
know, that
yeah.
takes care of the carb
Yes,
loading.
yes, yes.
So tell us about a training part. Comrades is a run that takes place every year in South Africa. So, did you tell us about this grilling run, considered to be one of the most challenging run in the world?
So I did continuous running during the COVID period, and in the 3 months that I did about 300 miles in the first month, and I did another 240 miles in my second month. And I think that gave me a good base. And after that, I did a number of other runs which were going around in the city. So we had a lot of virtual runs during the COVID period. I registered for almost all of them. And then in November, I looked at my number of kilometers in a month. I thought that I was in a fit frame to do the comrades. So I did this Gokarna run in
Karnataka.
that's right, in Karnataka, and it's a full hill run. And I stood second there. I stood second there, and I thought that my pace was quite good for a hill run, and that inspired me to want to do the comrades. So I started training. In the month of December, I got an injury in my knee. So for about 15-20 days, I couldn't run at all. I did the Mumbai marathon, but that was just touch and go. And then I trained for the Delhi marathon, and I did that, my full marathon, because you need a full marathon to qualify. I took 4 hours 38 minutes to do that, and then after that I kept on training. Of course, as I told you, I have been training alone because my time doesn't match with any group. I did some bit of strength training, but not much because my hours in the office are very, very long actually. I could not do a lot of strength training. But at the same time, I ensured that I did a few speed runs and some bit of weight training I did. So those were mostly floor exercises which I did. And then I increased my mileage, but I could never cross more than 50 kilometers at one go. So my first 50 kilometers was in the Malabar Hill. The next 250 kilometers I did in Lonavala, and I traveled to South Africa. And it was one of the most beautiful journeys of my life. And I still cherish the thought that I set a precedent for other women civil servants to try and do this run. I'm not only the first in railways, I'm also the first in women category for civil servants. So the entire service, I'm the only one who's done a comrades run. So I think I made my 1996 batch of civil services very proud. I think my batchmates are very happy with me. And yeah, I took more time than I would normally do. But in the end, they say that you get dehydrated and you might just miss it, and I couldn't miss it because I knew that railways will not allow me to kind of train again like this. It's been a difficult journey. Most of my runs were in the night because in the day there was just no time. They were all in the weekends, and I was so exhausted. On those days, I would go to my office and really feel drained. But I had so much of support from my staff.
Didn't it take a toll on your health?
No, it did. In fact, it strengthened me up, and I think that I've been most energetic in that phase of my life.
Because you're looking forward to taking part in
because I had a goal.
Tell me one thing. Usually, runners they start off with other runs, like international runs, like the Boston Run, London Run, and Berlin Run, and then they go for comrades. But in your case, I think it's opposite.
Yes,
you started off first with comrades. So why is it so?
Actually, my husband did comrades in 17 and 18, and I traveled with him for the first time in 17. 18, I didn't go with him. And I don't know, but I just saw the run. It is the most beautiful run of the world. And in my journey, I must thank two people, Amit Sheth and Nipa Sheth, who are ambassadors of the Comrades in India. And they were the first to run this Comrades run from India way back, some 10-12 years back. They were the ones who brought Comrades to India. And they have been the most supportive for me in this run, and I owe this run to them. It is their support which got me that far. So they
Your
helped
husband
me.
also encouraged and supported you?
My husband was feeling that I was not so trained for the run, and that I should put in more repetitions. My husband actually wanted me to put in more mileage because he felt that would help me in better timing. But I knew my limitations. I knew my body would not be able to do more. I had to do whatever I had to do with my present circumstances. And I felt that my timing was perfect in the sense that this opportunity might not come to me again since I'm a railway officer. So I just went for it.
What is your timing?
My timing was 11 hours and 47 minutes.
What is the cutoff?
Cutoff is 12 hours.
12. And what is your husband's timing when he completed Comrades?
I think that Viren did it under 10 hours, some minutes. Yeah.
So the Comrades couple, that's what we can call him. Our husband is Mr. Virendra Oja, Indian Revenue Service Officer. He is currently posted in Mumbai as
Principal Chief Commissioner.
Principal Chief Commissioner Income Tax. So yes, ma'am. So that's so great. But tell us, how do you deal with injuries in running? Because we all know, run comes with injuries. You train and you get injured, you heal and you start running again.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in 2016, I had got a meniscus tear, and at that time, I was out of running for almost 9 months. But I did physiotherapy, I did a lot of strength training. I came back and I ran 78 kilometers in the April of 2017. So all runners are like that. We all belong to the mad race. So we get injured and we recoup. We do physio.
Doctors will tell you no more running, but you are again
back. So some runners are not so fortunate; they have to take an operation. Others strength train and continue. That is it.
So what now? What next after Comrades?
After Comrades, it's just work, and the running
Is
will have
taking
to
a back
wait.
seat?
It's taking a back seat, and we'll have to wait before I can train better.
But I'm sure you have some goal in your mind.
Yes, I have goals. I have to do this night run in Norway. That's the first which I'm looking forward to.
Night run, as in how many hours?
It's a 42 kilometers run.
Full marathon.
Yeah. So when you have the aurora borealis
Yes.
in the northern skies, then this run is organized. So this is one run which I cherish to do. Then there is a base camp run at the base of Mount Everest. That's another run which I want to do. Yeah, and maybe Comrades again.
Okay, with better timing. Yes. So, how do you think sports, any kind of sports, be it running, swimming, or any other game, helps a civil servant to perform better in his work as well, on the work front as well?
So running is actually a prayer for me. It's my therapy, and it gives me a sense of mental peace. Running also teaches me that one fails, but one has to try again. So whether it is injuries, whether it is tiredness, you have to be up and again the next day to start your run again. The same way it is with office. You have your set of goals, you have your set of targets which the government gives you, which you have to achieve. Sometimes you achieve, sometimes you fail. You want to do a lot of system improvement, but the system resists, and sometimes people are not so kind to you, and you have to manage all that. So running makes you more sturdy. It definitely gives you a sense of balance, and it gives you a never say, never die kind of spirit. Never say never. That's the goal, and I will try again. So I keep trying again and again, both so far as my work is concerned and so far as my running
Running
is.
is concerned. This is for all young bureaucrats as well as UPSC aspirants. So never say never again. Keep trying, keep trying. So Iti ma'am has a very important advice for young IRTS officer new in the service. According to her, the first 2 years of your career are very important. It's a very important phase where you need to work really, really hard. And as years go by, then according to her, the first 2 years of your career are very, very important. this is the time which will make or break you. Let us know from her why.
So the first 2 years after training, they put you on the job and then we give you the content of the job. Now, once you know your work field, you can be actual leaders. Even while performing those duties, you can work for systemic changes. So your involvement in your work is paramount. Before you think that you have to give visibility to yourself, think about the visibility of your efforts. I think efforts are very, very important. And the more teamwork building you encourage yourself, the more effective and efficient you will be. Another very important point for you as a traffic officer is that the efficiency of systems depends on the efficiency of the team. So when you're working on improving mobility, improving train running, providing better passenger services, always keep it at the back of your mind that not everything will come out the way you thought, because it's a big organization. You have a huge passenger footfall. In fact, it is said that Indian Railways carries around an Australia every day. So, keeping that in mind, don't over expect, but at the same time, keep yourself grounded and focus on your work content. Once you have mastered that, you will be a true leader and will be able to deliver. And for railways, that is the most important thing. Also, if you want to be happy, have a hobby. It can be painting, it can be writing, it can be reading, music, running, anything. But keep going. And like I said before, never say never. So every time you have a setback, rise up and run again. And when I say run again, I mean be on the job all the time. Because that's the way railways is, and that is how it always will be.
So that's how it is in real life as well. Be whether it is on running or in the railways, you have to be on track. So that was E.T. Pandey giving us valuable insights about her career, about her career in the IRTS, and also about her running journey. Hope you enjoyed listening to her as much as we did, and hope you managed to pick up a few hacks and tips on running and career. And we really hope you will practice them in your real life. So thank you for watching Indian Masterminds. This is Junali Buragohai in Mumbai.
Thank you, Jonali.
Thank you, ma'am.